Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears, Americans. I just wanted to start that way. But anyway, let me start out with this. We are in a civil war right now. It's not like the Civil War back in the day where we had arming their smoothbore muskets, firing these balls at each other, civilians on the battlefield being victims. It is not like that, but it is very similar. We are at a civil war, the conservatives against the liberals, and it isn't smoothbore musket, it isn't bullets, it's bites and bits. It's no longer lead to forehead, it's electrons to forehead, and we are all victims. If you think about it, we are in a civil war right now, and this civil war is occurring through cognitive attacks. Every single person daily, if they choose to allow it to happen, is a victim of a cognitive attack. And the only way to stop it is for everyone to realize one point. This further came to light after I went through 2 weeks of a media fast on XM radio to CNN, Fox News. I always, as I'm driving, I got to have information going in my head. I didn't do this for 2 weeks. And then I realized at the end, I'm like, I'm overall happier. What is it that's making me happier right now? Why do I have a nice feeling of well-being? And in the light of it, like, I'm going through some very severe neurological thing going on right now because of severe sleep apnea, pending a surgery, and that is jacking my head up. So it's making my neurological issues worse. And so you would think my mind would be being more a victim of these cognitive attacks, but I'm feeling overall happy. So I look back on it, I was like, I went 2 weeks without being manipulated by the news, because regardless of who you watch, CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, all of those folks have an agenda and an attempt to influence the minds of us all. And so my brain was free from those influences and attacks. And I started thinking about it. I was like, how could that make me happy? And I think back about my study on the amygdala and how the amygdala impacts happiness and stress. Anytime a stimuli enters your mind, anytime any of that information enters your head and is processed through the prefrontal cortex, your amygdala kicks in and says, hey dude, they're talking about abortion. Hey, you hate abortion. You seem to get so mad because they're talking about abortion. That stuff's wrong. And then that causes stress. The amygdala tells the hypothalamus, we're triggering all of these hormones through all the glands. You're getting upset. You're not happy. You're getting shaky. All that stuff. And so that's what happens with the cognitive attacks. And I was like, oh, I went 2 weeks without being a victim, like everyone, so much in the world, and that is what made me happy. And then I thought about it. I was like, I've done a lot of cognitive behavior, challenging these cognitive distortions, learning how to not let things bug me, because a lot of things were bugging me. I got a good handle on questioning my thoughts, questioning everything that I see, and conducting cognitive analysis. So I was thinking, I know these things are wrong, so why am I still not happy when I'm watching this stuff? And I realized it's not the fact that they're making me upset because of what I'm seeing. It's more the fact that knowing that so many Americans out there are civilians on this battlefield that are being injured cognitively. They are victims of what CNN is saying. They're victims of what MSNBC is saying. They're victims of what Fox News is saying. They believe it, and that's what was frustrating me so much. And when things frustrate you, what you should do, as they discuss in cognitive behavioral therapy, well, it's not hurting you, maybe it's hurting others. How can you make a change? And that's what I'm doing now, trying to make a change, trying to get people out there to understand. I don't care if you love Fox News, you think they're the best, they have an agenda, and they're manipulating you. There's a theory called agenda setting theory that all journalists swear that they're never going to do. They study it in college, but yet they do it. Fox News, CNN, everyone, they're going to manipulate you. And I'm so sorry, but if you support them, you are a victim. You have just been attacked. You are a victim of the Civil War, the media Civil War. It's not bullets, it's bits and bytes. It's electrons in the forehead. And the only way to change is to understand how to challenge your thoughts. Take everything you see, even if it's from greatly admire, challenge what they say. Because not only when you do this challenge, when I say challenge, start looking up the stats. I see people throwing maps up. Hey, look, there's more more abortion deaths than COVID. And so then I was like, well, let me start pulling up the stats. And they had a map where it shows, hey, there was no abortions in like Indiana or something like that. I'm like, huh. So then I pull up the stats. There was abortions in Indiana. So obviously their map is wrong. And I don't get mad at them because they're a victim. So try the news fast, social media fast. Go out and operate on this battlefield for 2 weeks without the enemy attacking your brain. And you will see that you are much happier. You have a clearer view and stuff. And spend that time on what I've started doing now is audiobooks on how can I be better arm myself against these cognitive attacks. I'm listening to audiobooks that help you understand the brain, help you understand cognitive thinking, help you break things down in information. And instead of being attacked by the enemy, I just backed off the front line of troops where the enemy is. I'm here on R&R and I'm preparing for the next fight. That's what you need to do. And you're going to continue to be a victim if you don't do this now. So I challenge you, let's do try 2 weeks with no news. And even better, add social media on that. You'll see a difference.